Okay.
Alright, we're starting, or?
Good job. It's all you guys. Take it away.
Alright, how you guys doing?
So good. How are you?
I'm great, Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
What? I said nothing. I have said nothing.
Okay, so we're talking about Serov today. And how long were you guys filming for individually?
I honestly like a day or two.
Yeah.
If I remember
Okay,
correctly. We
okay.
really well a lot of my scenes were all in the same location, so we just did back to back to back. Which memorizing wise was a little bit tricky, but I mean we did it and we really knocked it out. So
Yeah.
that was kind of cool.
I know. I think mine was. It was 3 days, and it was like the only locations was the apartment and wherever else. And
Yeah.
Your scenes were cool. Like we never interacted.
We never
once.
interacted, but we talk about each other.
So,
Okay, well,
yeah,
on
that
that
was
point, how was that? Because for those who don't know, you guys played sisters. How was it being sisters?
Oh, I was going pretty ugly in. Give me a high five now.
How was it being sisters, but never interacted during the whole process?
It was fun. Literally the entire process. I don't think we even saw each other. But I think someone said when they saw the first draft of the edits, they were like, "You guys really look like sisters," and I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Okay, that's fun."
I think
But
even
it was
more
kinda
so than
cool.
that, I think you guys it really came off that you guys were sisters, even though you don't have a scene together.
Yeah.
It was just very clear.
That's because
Well,
we're
I mean,
soul
we're friends
sisters.
and everything, so that
Yeah, it
kinda
helps
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's a wrap. All right.
That's it. Thank you for having us.
Okay. So how much did Ian talk to you guys about your hair, your makeup, your costumes, that kind of thing?
Oh, I love talking about the hair and costume and everything.
Period piece.
Period piece. I think it was just like a presentation, and I've done kind of I love the 40s kind of hair situation. I've done it before, so I was like, hey, I can do this, and it just kind of I did that.
You did it yourself?
I did it myself.
Oh, cool.
Really hard. And my hair just would not stay, so it's in some scenes it's very much a mess. And it looks like I doused it in hairspray, so the shower that I took.
You just touch your hair and then
touch
it's
it. Oh
just
my god! I would
like a
literally
brick.
touch it and you hear a little. I was like, ooh.
ASMR.
But yeah, I mean, it was just so fun though to kind of do yourself up in a little thing you would never do before.
Yeah.
Especially the dresses, I had some pieces. I remember Ian had some pieces, just thrift stores, trying to find some things.
That's
so
fun.
it's really cute. It was planning everything, making sure hair was right, and then getting all my dresses, period piece dresses together.
I mean,
It was so nice.
I watched the first draft of the entire movie. I swear it looks like you guys were filming there for multiple days. When you guys said 2 to 3 days, I was
It
there's no
does,
way.
yeah.
No, it's honestly insane to film such a long piece of film in that amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Almost unheard of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just as kudos to everyone involved,
I
not even
know.
just actors, but
I know, it was a very efficient process to be able to do so many scenes and,
yeah.
only a few days. It's pretty crazy. I don't know the whole filming process, but was it a week or something? A week or 2
For
or whatever?
what?
I don't know, because I think I filmed before you guys
Yeah,
started
you did,
filming.
you did. I kind of
Well,
came
a
on
week.
later, so. I will say, going back to the hairspray thing, I feel it's it sucks because every day you have to wash it out of your hair.
Yeah.
Or did you ever decide just to sleep on it?
The last few days I did, because it was so bad.
It's a sleep of shame. I give up.
I was staying at my friend's house, and I was just I had my own pillow, and I was like, I'm just gonna figure it out.
You put your head
as
on the
I
pillow,
go.
it's
Yeah, no, literally. And then I was just because my hair wouldn't stay unless it was dirty and gross.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that's true, Your
Yeah.
hair's dirtier. and
Upon
it gets it.
further research, I found out that it was a 10-day shoot for the entire thing, which is
Mm.
actually insane.
That is cool.
Yeah. To put together something like that in such a
That's
short period of
crazy.
time.
Good job.
Good for us.
Yeah, but I mean,
Good for everyone. honestly.
it being a period piece, did you guys do anything different acting-wise? Did you prepare in any sort of way that wouldn't be normal to what you would normally do? Because I know it did have sort of like a modern context, at least in the English used. But was there anything specific that you guys found?
Maybe it was different for you because we were kind of in different places, our characters, but I will definitely say the character I played, Banks, is very different from me as a person, so I think that's kind of the approach that I took. She's a lot more serious and definitive, and she's, because, you know, her job kind of demands it, so I think that's kind of how I wasn't like acting like, oh, I'm gonna act like I'm in a noir piece, you know. I still wanted it to be grounded and real, but I think the character itself was a little bit different from me. But was it different for you at all? Like,
I mean, no, it was honestly kind of the same. I was gonna say the same thing. It wasn't like, even though the vibes were very like kind of old Hollywood with like the costumes and makeup and, you know, kind of the speech, it did not feel that way at all. And even just the look of it, and, you know, shot in the black and white, and it's just a really cool effect and really adds to the story. But it wasn't, I don't think it really like affected the way I spoke or talked. I will say, like, putting on the dresses and I mean, I don't know, like I said, there's like a party scene where it's like, you know, dancing and it's everyone's dressed up and it looks really nice, and that kind of influenced a little bit of like, I guess, like an old Hollywood like sassy woman for me. I don't know. It was a kind of those stereotypical characters you kind of see in movies that I was just like, oh, this reminds me of that, and I kind of found myself leaning into that a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you specifically because you were in those like Russian environments where you were talking to, you know, people, obviously actors, but, you know, the Russians in the scene. Did that have any sort of effect on? For sure. I was gonna, because we're both Americans. Like, we're both the Americans in the I don't know, that's spoilers, but I think that.
Yeah, you're not gonna yell at her.
No, because that would
we
slide.
are Americans. It's a fact. But I talked a lot about this with Ian too, because I mean, I also think, like you were saying, Lexi, like, I feel like I am kind of different from my character just because she was very comfortable in the environment for some reason, and she was just very confident. And I was talking to Ian about this, like, I would be scared shitless. Like, I'd be so scared.
I think most people
in that
would.
time, in that place. Like, it's just so much stress and everything going down on you, and that was just...
it was almost like the way you played it. It's like you had a certain, like, power to it.
Yeah.
It almost fueled you in
It was
a
a weird, like, you know, even though it's such a stressful environment to be in, she was so, like, kind of above it. And we talked about, like, is it an act? There's so much mystery to this woman. Like, is she acting confident for whatever reason, or is she, you know, actually this confident and this powerful?
It's interesting because we didn't really talk to each other about our character work and stuff, but I feel like I kind of came to a very similar conclusion with my character. Yeah. And again, it's like, is she confident? Is she faking it? And I think, I mean, at least for me, I feel like it's a little bit of both. Yeah. But it's interesting because we're sisters, and we both had that same thing going on, even with different.
I don't know if you talked with, like, Ian about, like, the backstory, because there isn't much, like, about us being sisters, but I think we kind of made our own, and then it sounds like it just kind of evolved together, which is really kind of cool. Yeah. Like, it just worked out that way. Yeah.
I have a specific question for you, Lexi, because I know a majority of your scenes are taking place in this interrogation room, right? How was that? Like, having most of your arc or character progression throughout the story be stuck in this one room?
It was... I kind of liked it because it added to the confined feeling, but also, like, the intimacy a little bit. And not in a romantic sense, but just... You know, the conversation when you have one-on-one with a person you've never met before, and then you kind of go from strangers to not. And it kind of forms a weird connection. And I think not only being in that room, but also doing those scenes back to back to back, I think we got to feel that connection form without, some films they film, oh, we'll go back to that place, or you film out of order. So it was kind of cool to feel the progression in that room. And it was also very ominous, the way that there was one single light hanging, and I was like, oh, okay. It was really creepy. But no, it worked great for the filming of it.
Where did you guys film that? It was the...
I think it was one of those places that have specific rooms for films. So one room's interrogation room, one's like a
Wait, so you
jury
went somewhere?
room.
So
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
PED.
Oh, I thought it was PED.
Honestly, PED would have a room with a hanging light.
There's auditions happening in the background, and you're like,
you're tap dancing in the background, and then the ROTC is also running.
Oh my god!
The basketball buzzer's going off.
ROTC being in the background of that would have added to it. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
yeah,
That's funny.
Well, we did film a little bit in PED, some of the hallway scenes in the basement.
Yeah.
It's super creepy.
We did
down
too.
there.
Oh my god, it was my first time going down. Have you been down there before?
No, I didn't even know it
haven't.
existed.
No. Yeah, it was really creepy.
I feel like every year I learn something new about PED. There's more lore.
Alright.
Okay.
Back to it.
We need a third camera for you guys.
Shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. I have to interview you.
Oh my god.
Alright.
We're the guests.
Audience.
So am I.
Oh yeah, you were in it. How was your experience working on this film?
It was really great.
Alright, that's enough. That's enough.
No, so I wasn't expecting to be a part of the film.
Keep going.
Keep
We want to
going.
hear.
God, just keep talking.
I wasn't expecting to be a part of the film, but I can't. You guys can't look at me like that.
No, keep going.
Ian, I was there for intimacy coordination. That's what I was doing, and Ian, the day that I went, was like, "Hey, do you want to be one of these generals, militant people?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. I'm here. I act sometimes." So I did that, and then I had one other pickup day. So it was 10 total minutes of acting, I would say, or being on set. And then the rest of it was just intimacy coordination, which is something that is very important to me specifically, something that I've seen been done poorly, or not been done at all. And I have taken a couple workshops with a couple people that have done it before, so I was like, okay, this is a great opportunity to try this for the first time. And
How was that experience for you?
I can't really speak on it too much because I was the one coordinating, but I can ask you.
Oh my god, me! I was going to butt in and say that was probably doing that, and I'm gonna compliment you.
Oh my god, I'm
Just
so excited. I'm
Just
so
be prepared.
excited.
That was honestly, that, and I'm racking my brain for other moments, but just that I've been a part of where I felt the most comfortable, just because
that's
it
great.
was it was just so well thought out and so well organized that I was really thankful for that. Even though I was just we're just going the scene, we're shooting, it can feel very overwhelming. Just to okay, we're doing a kissing scene and then we're gonna move on. We got to do this in 5 minutes. It could very easily be something like that, but it wasn't. And that was a really good experience.
I appreciate that.
So good job.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank
you killed
you.
it.
Thank you. Is this your guys' first feature?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is not my first feature film.
Okay.
I am in
The
paramedic who stalked me
Okay.
on Lifetime television.
Yeah. Sex.
I am also in Murdoch Murders on Tubi,
Okay.
Which is crazy.
and
That's
I have
so
another
good.
one coming out on Lifetime called Crowdsource Murder.
Hey, go check that out.
Yeah, go check it out. I remember texting you because oh my god, I'm obsessed with the Murdoch Murders. Not
Yeah.
I love true
Wow,
crime.
you support murder.
No. Okay.
She's
I really like true crime, and I remember I saw it. There's so many documentaries. I was like, "Are you in this one? Are you in this one?"
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Congrats.
But this one is the most, is the best one that I've been in so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask you, Ronnie, how was it, doing your first feature because you were such a titular role. Am I using that word correctly?
You are using that wrong.
God damn it!
Titular, that would be Ian. Ian would be the titular character.
Damn
It's named
it.
after him.
First role.
Yeah, being
Here
a
always-
very
A role.
Being a
Being a role.
being an actor.
An actor.
yeah, like a very prominent part of this film. How was that?
It was really cool. Like we said earlier, like it didn't really feel like a feature because it happened so quickly
Yeah.
and so like, you know, all together, and that was great. But it was really cool. It was I feel like in the past few years I would have like, you know, it was a little short film that's like, you know, or you have like 3 characters or 3 lines and I go through auditions and it's like, oh, you're not really doing much or whatever. It was just cool it was like a full character work moment where I can actually put in practice and put in like a lot of thought into, and
Yeah.
that was really cool. And it was like you're discovering new things every day and learning everything, you know.
That's great.
It isn't all at once. It's like it's a learning process.
How-
She was on Victorious though.
I can't
Wait, were you actually? Wait, were you actually?
Yes,
For real?
I was.
Wait, no way.
When I was 9 years
What
old.
did you do?
Can you get us a clip?
Yeah, like actually.
Yeah, we should put it in.
I was feeding child number 2. I fed
Okay.
Andre grapes. It was in the. Do you guys remember the April Fool's episode? Everyone remembers the April Fool's
Oh,
episode.
is it the
You
No,
fed
never mind.
grapes.
This is, shut up. Don't shake your head at me. Yeah, it was the one where I don't even know how to describe that. That was like the weirdest episode.
What was the audition like for that?
Oh my god, they're supposed to be like British feeding children, and then originally they were like, you have a whole scene with lines, and we had to be in like a little British accent, and there's 2 of them, and it was like a line, and then Robbie comes up, and then one of the other kids is like, that's the kid with the puppet, and then I audition with, like I just screamed, and that's what got me the part.
No way.
And my scream was so good.
Wow.
And then they made me do it 15 times. And I got sick.
Oh no.
Shout out Nickelodeon. Yeah. Lovely.
But
Can we please insert a clip of that?
yeah.
Right
I'll
that would
see
be
here.
Hey, can we get a couple of feeding children over here?
2 feeding children at table 16.
No way.
Tori, I'm running in with big news, Tori!
It's him!
That was a great scream.
Thank you so much.
It
So
sounds like
good.
a-
That was so good.
It did.
Okay.
Should we switch?
Oh my god.
Get a little switcheroo?
Yeah. Oh, this one's so much more comfy. I don't know
I
why.
want it
Don't hate
back.
on Spider-Man like that.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, it's cute, but this one is like so
Whoa.
cuddly.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Put that
Put
away.
them away.
How did this compare to Mud? For
Oh yeah.
the audience, for those who don't know, Ronnie was in Mud.
Oh yeah.
A little short written and produced,
Shout out
directed by
Naomi.
Naomi. How did it compare this film to doing Mud with Naomi?
Mud was just such a different experience. I absolutely love Mud. It was shot in one day. It was all, you know, like a kind of a quick process. I was in the mud, first of all. Like, I basically was sitting in there the whole, I don't know, how long were we out there? Like 5 hours.
It was like a full day.
It was a full day.
We got back, it was getting dark.
Yeah. No, yeah, that was a really fun shoot. And I think that one was more like, it was like comedy, and it was with James, who was the biggest goof. Shout out James.
Shout out James.
Shout out James. And it was just kind of fun, even though it was like, oh, my legs are in the mud this whole time. I just had a really fun time. With Serov, it was very like, you know, and Ian's great at this, but just setting the mood and setting the tone for everything, and it's usually a very serious type of scene, and even if it was a fun scene, it's like a reminder of there's a lot of context and a lot of, you know, historical context of, you know, everything that's going wrong at that moment. I don't know if that really made sense, but it was, the moods, the vibes of each of the films are definitely very different.
Okay.
Had great blast in both of them. But
James Donovan, also in Serov.
Yes,
James Donovan
yes, he
is also in
He
Serov.
is also in Serov.
Yeah.
He starts it off.
icon.
He was
Yeah.
also in my acting 101 class.
No
Was he
way.
really?
Yes, we did Meisner
Aw.
together. He went by Jamie instead.
Wait, actually? Wait,
Yes.
actually?
When you go by Jamie.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
That's
I
why
could
I
not
call him
picture him
Jamie.
like
I
that.
call him Jamie, and then everyone's like, "Who's Jamie?" And I'm like, "I'm the real
You
ones
have to be
now."
there, yeah.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
the real ones. Only 101's do. That's crazy.
Oh, this is a scary question. This is probably gonna get cut out. But anywho, how did filming Serov, compare to some of the more like professional productions that you've worked on?
That's a great question.
How did it compare? I would say the first thing that comes to mind is just the speed of which we filmed. I mean the stuff I've been on, it's Lifetime and Tubi. It's still like a slightly lower budget, and they're going really, really fast. But this one, they put their money where their mouth is, and we went really, really fast. But it didn't feel rushed either. Like, I didn't feel like, I mean, obviously we were keeping on track, but I didn't feel like we were trying to go faster than we actually could, if that makes sense. It's a sparser set. I mean, we're all students or former students, and we can only get so many people that, that are not at their jobs and whatnot. So that was kind of interesting, but it's kind of cool to be able to work with people who are in the same stage of their life together, all creating art, versus when you're on set over there, everyone's kind of older, and which is cool. Like, it's cool to meet different people who have been in the industry longer, but it's just a different experience, Oh, and
Wow.
what was so cool was the glass. There was like the double-sided interrogation glass where you could see through one way and not the other.
Yeah.
That shit's
That's
crazy.
so cool.
Yeah.
Did you, while you were doing that, the majority of what you were doing, were you thinking of who was behind that glass, almost like you were sort of being watched? Because as an audience member seeing those scenes, it felt very much like, I know there's somebody back there, but I don't know who. Is she like watching what she says for the person behind there? So I want to see if...
I think moments there, I was thinking about that, but I also think a lot of it, especially later on, she gets really invested in his story, and I think that's when she kind of starts to even let her guard down a little bit, even though I don't think she'd want to admit that. And I think that's when you stop thinking about that as much, and you're not as on guard or being like, oh, who else is listening to this conversation, which is kind of interesting.
That is really interesting.
Yeah.
Did Ian ever creep you out?
Oh, of course.
That's such a weird question, but like at
Is
the
Ian a
But
creep,
he was
but like at the very beginning, he's very like no spoilers, but he's very like just kind of
Yeah, come on.
creepy. Just kind of creepy.
Mr. Titular.
Yeah.
I will say this. I was really, really impressed with Ian's work. I mean, as
1000%,
an actor and a director and writer, the work that he put in and the research he had to do, he really, really understood the
Put all
characters.
into it.
And it really came through with his performance. He
Yeah,
was
I
a
think
great
this-
actor to work with.
I think this piece, it makes me very happy to see him put together this piece, because it's going out to a wider audience that will see his work. We did The Seagull together our junior year, and that production was different, I will say, because it was 13 actors and we didn't have anybody crewing the show. So it was literally just us and our director, and we had to, find our own costumes, props, figure out lighting, figure out sound. When there was a basketball game the night of our performance, 20 feet from the door. So it was this whole thing. We all had to face a lot of adversity. But I remember at the beginning, because we did the, what's that called? A show?
Dramaturgy?
Dramaturgy, yeah. we did that beforehand, and it was sort of assigned like homework, like we all had like different sections, and I remember we all did our sections, but Ian just came in with like a plethora of information about literally everything, and maybe it has to do with his love of Russia, seeing from the projects he's been a part of, but he really knows his stuff, or at least like puts in the work, like really puts in the work. And I saw that come through so much then, and I feel like it was almost underappreciated because, you know, nobody really got to see that sort of work. And so seeing this now and all that he's put into this, I'm super excited for him to like reap all the rewards of the incredible work that he's put on with this.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's just super smart. Like, and I think as like one of his actors, it was like, I'm a person who likes a lot of facts and like likes to, you know, like, especially if this is based on a true story in history, like know what was going on in history, and Ian just knows everything, like even what was happening in the United States, what was happening in these allied states, what was happening in wherever. And it was just like, I think he recommended a book called like, it was Wise Gals or Wise Girls, and it was about women in the CIA during like World War II, and it was just
awesome.
like, I was like, oh my god, like this is my dream come true. Like I was just so happy to be able to, it just allowed me to push from that, and it was like the coolest. It's also just cool to learn about.
Yeah, I mean, he literally like pulls on anecdotal evidence like from the times.
Yeah.
Like he was literally saying like, oh yeah, my friend's friend.
My fellow teachers, friends.
Was actually there in Russia.
Yeah,
like,
and they would never say that. And we were like, oh.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I can't believe I wrote that in the first place.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it's really fun learning about that.
Don't move.
I'm trying.
Damn it.
Wait, no.
You're fired. Please leave.
We're editing you out. Oh, Sarah. What are everyone's hot takes? Or cinematic hot takes?
Cinematic hot takes?
Cinematic hot takes.
The Last Airbender was a good movie. I'm kidding.
Mine is, this might get me fired. Mine is, I like the Star Wars sequels. I'm a fan of them.
All of them?
I like Rian Johnson. Yes, I like The Last Jedi. I thought it worked well.
What about 9?
Okay.
I think that.
Here's the thing. Like, yeah, like, I actually, like, maybe this is just says something about me. Like, I just accept things and I'm like, yeah, word, like, I couldn't have done it any better. Like, that's great. Like, I'll accept it. I was disappointed, but I was like, you know what? I'm not making $1 billion off of this.
You know, that was a solid hot take. You know why? Everybody went silent the second you said it. Everybody was like, ooh.
Maybe I shouldn't
I
have said it.
kind of agree. I can see it.
Yeah. They were entertaining. And
I
I love nostalgia.
I was never really into Star Wars. Like it was one of those things that it would be on TV, but it would be like halfway through, and then I like wouldn't really understand what was going on. And it wasn't until Morgan Hill Edgar, I don't know how to like introduce him to like the people watching. He was my roommate for a little bit, and he sat me down. We watched all 9 of them, and I was very like surprised by the first 3, not like the original 3, but like 1, 2, and 3. I was like pleasantly surprised by those movies because I've only heard them get shit on, for lack of a better word, for so long, and then I watched it and I was like, it's entertaining. There's good stuff right here.
They are children's movies. I'm just gonna put that out there. I need to stop talking. Someone else go. Seriously, someone else speak
I'm
before.
thinking of a hot take. Mine is empty.
I didn't like Ronnie's acting.
You said it. Just gonna. Alright, think of another hot take.
I actually think.
Oh, I have one.
Go.
I don't think Booksmart is very good.
I haven't seen it.
Oh.
I did not think it was as funny as I had hoped, because everyone was saying it's like it's like the super bad but for women.
That's actually.
Is that the one with Emma Stone?
That's La La Land.
No, I'm not talking about La La Land.
No, Superbad has Emma Stone.
Oh.
That is super bad. I think Bottoms is.
Who's
That's
in
a weird.
Superbad?
That's like a weird person to think of when you think of Superbad. Not like
I wasn't thinking of
I know.
Superbad. I was talking about Booksmart. Who's
No,
in-
that has
That's. Oh fuck. I would.
She
I
was
actually
in-
would agree with you.
She
though.
was
I'm
Anyway,
just looking
I was really optimistic for the movie, and
Mm-hmm.
like, I watched it, and I was like, this is me. I was with my friend Jenny, and we were like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, this is. We're not laughing.
I think Bottoms is the super bad
Yes,
for women.
Bottoms did what Booksmart wanted to do.
Yeah, Bottoms was so good.
So good.
Dude.
I've seen it like 3 times.
Yeah, no, I love Bottoms.
Movie of 2023. Is that a hot take?
Yeah,
I feel like it is.
2023 is a hot
The
take.
year with Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Yeah, that's a
Oh
hot
yeah,
take.
Bottoms is
Oh,
probably
shit.
my favorite movie.
Did you guys see the Joe Coy? Did you guys see Joe Coy stand up?
Yes!
Oh my
Did you see this?
So bad.
I cringed so hard.
It was
Have you
really
seen it?
embarrassing.
I have a hot take.
Okay.
But I think I
I
might
thought
need to
it
get
was
this
funny.
one cut out. This one you might
I
have to cut
laughed
out.
at his
Because I'm not
jokes.
trying to like actually get like in trouble with people.
Okay.
So you might need to cut this one out.
No, that makes sense.
That's my hot take.
Wow.
Joe Coy's funny.
I think he's a funny guy.
I wouldn't go that far, but
No.
no.
Okay, your turn. You haven't said that.
Oh.
Hot take.
Why are your feet like that?
I actually get made fun of for that all the
You
time.
know
Move back, back.
No!
No,
Like my
I
sister's
like
taking
it.
pictures of me doing this. My friends
that's
freshman
so
year
funny.
taking pictures of me doing this.
That's
He
so
said
funny.
we were laughing at him.
Yeah.
He looks so sad.
I'm trying to think of a goddamn hot take.
All of his takes are just like everyone else's.
Yeah. My right now, kind of trash.
Oh,
That's not a hot take.
I know. I know.
What's your favorite genre?
I kind of like sci-fi.
That's a hot take.
Fuck with sci-fi.
Hot
How is it a hot take? It's my preference. It's my opinion. I guess that's what.
I kind of like sci-fi. Oh man. Okay, yeah. Like what?
What's your favorite sci-fi
Or
movie?
just asking someone.
We stumped him.
Yeah, you're
What's a
asking me
movie?
too
What's
much
a
about
movie
myself
you've
right
seen?
now. Ever?
Have you ever seen?
Oh, I know one. Actually, I really liked that new Hunger Games movie that came out.
Ooh.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Wow.
People were saying it was too long, but I disagree.
That's what she said.
I think they could have.
What?
That
He
was a
set
good
me
one.
up.
That was a
He
good
set
one.
me
That was a
up.
good one. I think they could have broken that movie up
I haven't seen it.
based
I
on
mean, they did.
based on what. Yeah, but I
Are you
thought
saying, like, two
like
parts?
another trilogy would be so dope.
Yeah,
Come on, Suzanne Collins.
yeah, true.
I think that'd be cool.
What's your guys' favorite scenes in Serov? Or at least your favorite scene to shoot?
That's a great question.
That is such a good question.
I know mine. My favorite scene to shoot was the final scene. Just I don't want to say too much because obviously
Yeah.
that's a big spoiler. But it was like a one shot, and it was really cool to. What I was doing felt very emotional to me. And I felt like it wrapped up everything really well. So that was my favorite scene.
Did you do any sort of emotional prep work for this character?
Yeah, of course. I didn't have like months of time to prepare, but I definitely went into it trying to find ways to connect with the character story. And again, I think knowing Ronnie really helped me connect to like the sisters bit of things, and yeah, I did a lot of work to make sure that it felt authentic what I was doing.
Yeah. I'm still on what my favorite scene is. I'm trying to think.
I wonder if this is how like normal interviews go. You know?
I know.
Maybe.
my favorite scene was it was like the party scene. Again, you know, I'm gonna say stuff, you bleep out whatever you feel. There's the party scene, and there's a moment where they're doing kind of like everyone's doing like show and tell, and it's like, you know, just everyone's having a good time, and they're passionate about different things, and there's a part where, and it's the long shot. What do we call it? It was the oneer. Just this long shot, and it was like a 5-minute scene, because it was 8 minutes. It was 8 minutes. It was an 8-minute scene, and it was like just so much happens, and it was like we were talking about before. It was like it's a party scene, so everyone's like keeping it lighthearted, but it's so tense, and everyone just feels it like in their chest. And Ian has this beautiful cello piece, and you know, I'm speaking poetry, and it's like, you know, taking jabs at each other, but, you know, trying to connect with one another. And it felt like theater, and it was just so cool. And then at some point I just forgot, like, Brandon was just going around filming us, because we were all just together in a group and speaking to each other and sharing art with each other in such a tense environment. And it was like just the coolest scene. I think we literally did it probably like 3 or 4 times. And it worked out really great. And I was gonna say, like, with the kind of emotionally preparing for that, I really liked it because it was so easy to get into it in that type of scene, because it was just a constant, like, everyone was feeling the same thing, and you could feel it, the energy of what everyone was feeling, and it was just really cool.
So what would you say was the hardest scene that you had to film? Or at least the most challenging, in whatever way you want to interpret that.
I don't know if I can say which was the challenging. There was... Yeah.
Lexi, what was the hardest scene for you?
Well, my answer's not going to be as eloquent as yours.
I feel like I just went in circles.
So, what was hard for me is we did all the interrogation scenes back to back to back, because the scene is kind of like it's broken up a little bit, but it's kind of like one long scene, and he wanted to film it that way, and I had only had so much time to memorize, so I was just trying to rack my brain for the words. And as an actor, that's the last thing you want to be doing, is thinking about what's my next line. I was like, oh my
doing it
goodness.
continuously.
Especially because, I don't know about you, but when I memorize in the chunks in the script that you're given. And so having to remember each chunk one after the other was also something I wasn't, my brain was like, what is going on?
Like it going into the next chunk.
Yes.
That's great, yeah.
I know. They were so generous with, me, and I didn't feel pressure. I mean, obviously I wanted to get the lines right, but they didn't ever make me feel bad if I messed up a line or had to take it back or anything, so thank you.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
How did you guys get into that?
Do you want to go
project?
Sure. I mean, mine was, I think it was right after Mud. Brandon got a bunch of posters, and me and James decided to meet with him signing. We were like, well, what's Some Dude Productions doing next? And you were like, Ian's got this Russian spy. And James and I both went, put us in that right now. I was so excited. Just because it was something so different, and we were like, oh my god, that sounds so cool. And I think, I got a text from Ian, and I was like, put me, yes. I remember reading the script and just being like, this is the coolest, I remember being educated. I was like, wow, this is so cool. It was awesome. I was just excited from the get-go. Yeah.
Yeah. So, my experience was my friend Alyssa, who has been heavily involved in Some Dude Productions.
Insert Alyssa shot.
So she texts me and she goes, hey girl, would you want to be in this Some Dude Productions new film? And Alyssa were very close, and I was like, of course, like, anything for you. Thinking, I'm a little dummy over here, I thought I was gonna be like, kind of like your character, where it's like, one scene and like, no lines. I was like, yeah, like, I'll do it, no biggie. And she sends the script, I was like, yeah, I'll look it over later. I remember I got a text from Ian. He's like, do you want to, like, talk about character work? I was like, oh, he's really into these minor characters and background stories. And I look up and I start reading the script. I was like, I should probably read it. And the name of my character pops up immediately. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm, like, in the first scene or something like that. And I keep reading. I'm like, oh, my name's popping up quite a bit.
Yeah.
I keep reading, I'm like, oh, wow, I'm like one of the main characters. Oh, I have 3 days to memorize 66 pages? Let's go! And that's how I got on the project. And again, they were so generous for my little oopsie. But I think it worked out really well. And the environment that was created made it feel very safe. And again, even though we were going so fast, it didn't feel rushed. So I think we were still able to find the nuances in the scripts, and it definitely was it taught me a lot. And you know what? Dagnabbit, I memorized that. I said the words. You'll see them. And then the other scene, so that's like one scene that I did. The other scene that was kind of difficult for me is like well, this is a spoiler.
Watching Andre like do like all the stunt stuff is crazy. Very cool.
Yeah, that kid's really talented.
Yeah. Shout out Andre.
Shout out. Insert.
Picture of Andre here.
Also, like flipping in air.
Andre
Yeah.
is in the movie.
Yeah, he's in the movie.
Yeah, no, the gun thing is interesting. Yeah, because I feel like we use the guns in so many of these productions, and funny enough, for one of the recent projects that we did, Withered, we went to South Dakota for 2 weeks, and there, I'm pretty sure all the characters hold a gun at least 1 point, except for mine. However, I've done other stuff with guns, and it's just, something that's probably important to know at least somewhat about.
Definitely.
And while we were there, his dad took us out to, like, the range, like a big, empty area.
So most of South Dakota.
Yeah. He took us to most of South Dakota.
He went in the backyard.
Yeah. And we got practice shooting a couple different guns, and it was really cool to learn and feel recoil, because that was something that I was so scared of, was like, you see movies like, what was that Christmas movie where the kid like shoots his eye out? Yeah,
Christmas Story.
Christmas Story. I was so scared that was gonna happen to me when I first shot a gun, and then I tried it, and it has a little bit of recoil, but like, I was able to handle it.
I bet
so
when
fun.
he shot for the first time, he made that scream that you did in the video.
Like that. Do it.
Didn't.
Can confirm. Confirm. Nice.
So any last
What?
Do you guys have any last thoughts? Anything? Actually, do you guys have anything that you want to leave with any audience member that watches Serov? Maybe either before they watch it, or a little something for after they've seen it.
Honestly, I don't know if this is leaving the audience with anything, but I just feel really impressed with all the people in the creative team, because this is like a very ambitious endeavor, and especially Some Dude Productions specializes in like zombies and stuff like that, and I think this is such a big step outside, and they keep doing stuff that is stepping outside, and I think that's amazing, because I think it's easy to just feel safe with the things that you've done that have found success before. So the fact that they endorse new creatives to be like, yeah, like, we'll help you with your idea, I think it's amazing, because it's really inspiring.
Yeah. It is really cool.
Yeah. And I hope that the people who watch it are able to see all the heart that goes into it.
Yeah.
It started as a passion project, and now it's a
Yeah, I'm
film.
excited to see all the passion projects that come with Some Dude Productions. Because I feel like you're saying,
I'm in another one coming up.
yeah, they're becoming more adventurous and taking on different themes and different groups of people leading those teams.
Yeah.
I've just loved to see the progression of this group throughout the time that I've been a part of it.
You have a hole in the bottom of your sock.
Thank you so much for that.
And that's it.
That's what it is.
And we're done.